Check, 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 check. Hello, hello. Check. Check, 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 check. All right. Hello, hello. All right, here we go. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Making the Call. We've got a really fun episode in store for you this week. I'll be starting off with an intro, doing a full deep dive breakdown into Jack Leiter's Major League debut. I know it was last Thursday, but I want to devote some time here at the top of the podcast going through his outing, some of the things that he did well, some of the areas where he struggled, and all that. Plus, I have some other Rangers notes to run through. And then Alex and Trent will be joining me after that, and potentially Rosie at some point, and we're going to go through our top headlines of the week. Dallas Stars Game 1 reactions, Dallas Mavericks Game 1 reactions, both teams in the playoffs, and so it's a lot of DFW sports this week. We might even hit on some other random topics at the top with our one big headline of the week, so it's going to be a really fun podcast. Let's get into it. So Jack Leiter last Thursday made his Major League debut against the Detroit Tigers. And if you were watching that game, which I hope you were, you saw mixed results. First inning, he looked great. Really fell apart in the second inning. And then third inning had a nice rebound. And then fourth inning is where he ended up getting pulled. Not entirely his fault, but we'll get into that. So I went batter by batter. I went back and I've got a bunch of notes to run through on basically how he approached each hitter, what he did well, what he didn't do well. And so let's just go through this because he had one of those games where the box score doesn't tell the full story. You know, if you look at his line from that game, let me pull it up here. He went 3 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 7 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, no home runs. That's not a good stat line. That's not good, not being able to go 4 innings, giving up 7 earned runs with 3 walks. I'm not going to try and tell you that he had a good outing, but I do think he did do some things well, and that's really what you want to see from someone when they're making their pro debut. He's not a finished product. He's going to have some things to work on. I wish he was still up with the big league club, and we'll talk about that at the end to wrap up the intro. So first inning starts off against Riley Green, 3-pitch strikeout, fastball, changeup, fastball. I mean, what a way to start. Fastball was humming. Changeup looked really good, which he really doesn't use a changeup a lot, or at least he hasn't in the minor leagues, but he really threw it quite a bit in his pro debut. So starts off with a 3-pitch strikeout. Gives up a single to Kana on a fastball in the upper third, arm side. The arm side's important because if you've watched him at all in the minors, if you've been following kind of Jack Leiter's track to get to this point, he tends to throw everything glove side. So, you know, if he's a right-handed pitcher, so glove side's going to be away on a righty and on a lefty. And that's typically where he likes to live, is glove side for him. But what I thought was interesting was he threw that, you know, he gave up a single to Kana on a fastball in the upper third on the arm side, which is not typically where he likes to live, but that's where he threw it. Then he strikes out Carpenter on 3 pitches. All were foul balls. All were on sliders. Or I'm sorry, he gave up in that strikeout. It was 3 foul balls. All 3 of those came against a slider, which is kind of his wipeout pitch. Then he had a 4-pitch walk against Torkelson. I mean, not a good at-bat. It's not what you want. You never want to give up 4 to 5 pitch walks. That's just cardinal sin as a pitcher. 4-pitch walk to Torkelson. And so now he's got runners on first and second, 2 outs, and he gets a 3-pitch fly out to Veerling. 2 fastballs up. That's going to be important. Just keep that in mind. One of those 2 fastballs was fouled off. Okay. So all in all, not a bad first inning. Started off great, worked out of some of a jam that he caused. put a 0 on the board. That's what you care about, right? Didn't throw a lot of pitches either. Okay, he goes to the second. Starts off the second with a 5-pitch walk. What did we just say? You never want to do a 4 or 5-pitch walk to a batter. You especially don't want to do it to lead off an inning. So not off to a good start here in the second inning. Starting off with a runner on first with a free pass. On that 5-pitch walk, only one ball was close to the zone, and it was ball 4. So it took until his 5th pitch, which ended up putting the man on first base, to even get close to the zone. All the other pitches weren't anywhere near it. Then he gives up a bloop single to Ursula, not the villain from Little Mermaid. 65 miles an hour off the bat. That is weak contact. It was just, if you remember it, it was just this bloop single that just fell over Simeon's head. He couldn't quite get to it, landed behind him in shallow right field. One of those hits where it's like, you know what? Those kind of things happen in baseball. You're not going to beat yourself up as a pitcher. That's just the way baseball go. Shout out Ron Washington. So now he's got runners on first and second, nobody out. Here's where the trouble really starts to build on itself. First pitch double to Javi Baez. Fastball low and in, which is glove side, right? That's where he likes to typically, I'm sorry, that's arm side, so that's opposite. Fastball low and in to Baez, 109 miles an hour off the bat. Baez was sitting fastball. He saw fastball, and he torched it over the third baseman down the line for a double. Okay, so 3 batters, 5-pitch walk, bloop single, and a hard hit double to Baez. The Baez at bat, I think where he went wrong there is you don't throw Baez anything in the zone unless you have to. He has such a wide zone for what he's going to swing at. He has one of the highest swing rates in baseball. That's actually, let me look that up. His chase rate is insane. You never have to throw to him in the strike zone. So the fact that he got a pitch that he could hit, his chase rate is in the first percentile in baseball this season. Now, keep in mind, the higher the percentile, the better. So he's chasing on 48.7% of all pitches. Doesn't matter where they are, of all pitches. So giving him a pitch to hit, first pitch of the at-bat, that's not what you want to do. So he ropes that down the line for a double. Then Jack Leiter gets a 6-pitch ground out to Kelly. He wasn't locating low, which is where he gets into trouble, but he managed to still get the ground out. First 4 pitches were upper third. Fastballs are higher. Upper third fastballs are higher. So they were all, that upper quadrant of the strike zone, or they were above the strike zone. 3 of those 4 pitches were fouled. 1 was called a ball. The ball in play that ended up being the ground out was a fastball middle outer third. So you're okay if you're locating it in the middle. If it's on the outer or the inside, corner, which is where it was, gets the ground out. Okay, so now you've given up the double to Baez. That's scored 2 runs, I believe, at that point. You get the ground out. You're feeling good, right? Then he gives up the triple to Riley Green, the leadoff hitter, who struck out on 3 pitches in the first inning. I'm really not going to fault Leiter on giving up that triple because it was a great piece of hitting from Green. Let's go through it. First pitch, fastball low and away, called strike. All right, 0-1, you're feeling good. Second pitch, changeup low and away, ball. All right, you're seeing if you can get him to chase after a called strike, off speed. You've been throwing the changeup a little bit more today. So now it's 1-1. Third pitch, fastball right down the middle, fouled off. You'd like to locate that a little bit lower, maybe you get a swing and a miss, but hey, fouled it off, no harm, no foul. Literally. Well, actually, there was a foul. All right, so now you're 1-2. Fourth pitch, changeup, low and in, ball. Okay, now you're 2-2. He goes right back to that same spot, changeup, low and in. If you look at the little pitch chart of where they all landed, it was right on top of you on the last pitch. So changeup, low and in, ball. Finally, he throws a fastball low and in, and this is on a 3-2 count, and it wasn't in the strike zone. So he was okay with the walk if he doesn't swing at it. But Green, to his credit, he turns on this thing and golf swings it at 104 miles an hour off the bat to right field for a triple. I don't hate that pitch on a 3-2 count. I think the only thing I would have done differently is you Leiter had just done two changeups low and in the exact same spot. And then he goes back to a fastball low and in the exact same spot. So the problem with that is Green is his eyes are already adjusted down to that part of the strike zone. He's already looking down there. He's used to seeing the pitches down there. The only thing I would have done differently is I would have gone fastball low and away. 3-2 count. See if you can get it on that lower outer outside corner of the strike zone. He just saw two changeups, so you get the velocity to hopefully, work to your advantage. If he swings at it, he's likely, at most he's getting a single, probably going to get a ground out, or he swings and misses, or maybe he gets caught looking because he's expecting off speed. Fastball blows right by him, strike three. That's the only thing I would have done differently, but all in all, it was just good piece of hitting by Green. So he gets a triple off of that. Then he gives up a single to Khan. Just simply hung a slider, 101 exit velo off the bat on that one. Not a good at bat, not a good pitch execution there, leaving that slider in the middle of the zone. Gets a strikeout to Carpenter. Got him to chase two sinkers and one changeup away out of the zone. So now you got two outs, and then he ends up getting a two-pitch ground out to Torkelson on a slider low and away. Gets out of the inning. So good piece of hitting from Green. You would have liked to see him go with a different approach on that final pitch. You would have liked to see him not throw to Baez in the zone to lead off that at bat, and then obviously not executing on a slider and hanging that middle is not a good approach there. So that's the second inning. Goes to the third inning. Third inning, I thought, all right, we're figuring some things out, Jack. He goes out there, 3-pitch pop out to Verlaine, fastball middle away, 2-pitch fly out. That was a curveball low and away, changeup, curveball middle in on that execution. Or I'm sorry, it was a curveball low and away that was a called strike, and then he does curveball middle in that ends up being flied out. Then a 3-pitch fly out, slider in ball, fastball up and in out of the zone, swing and a miss, and then curveball low and away out of the zone for a fly out. All three of those were weak contact. So I thought the third inning was great from him. I thought, it was good for him to bounce back like that. If we look at that third inning there, the Verlaine flyout was 84 miles an hour off the bat. The Keith flyout was 80 miles an hour off the bat. The Urshela flyout was 78 mile an hour off the bat. So it was a good bounce back from him, okay? Goes into the fourth inning. This is where he ends up getting pulled. Starts off great. 3-pitch ground out to Baez, 5-pitch flyout to Kelly, okay? 8 pitches, 2 outs. It's exactly what you want. Green comes up with 2 outs, nobody on. Last time he golf swung a fastball, if you remember, low and in for a triple. And keep in mind, that was on a fastball low and in after seeing 2 consecutive changeups low and in. So Leiter and Jonah Heim, the catcher, decide, okay, we're not going to work that side of the plate. We're not gonna go back to that area because he burned us on it last time. And if you go and look at his tendencies, he does the most damage, Green does, on things on the inside corner of the plate and even a little bit inside that wouldn't be called a strike. He loves that inner third of the strike zone and even beyond. So they say, okay, we're going to work him away. I think that's great. The problem is, and you'll see this as we work our way through it, he never changed Green's eyesight. Going back to the previous at-bat, with hitters like this, you have to give them different things to see. You got to keep them on their toes. They can't get complacent, and you can't have them start to guess correctly. That's where you run into trouble. So first pitch, curveball, middle away on the black, swing and strike. All right, I like it. You're working away. Then he goes, all right, we're gonna try to change his eyesight a little bit. Curveball low and in, almost in the dirt, ball. I don't know if he meant for it to be that low and it was just poorly executed, but if you're trying to change his eyesight and keep him, off balance, throwing curveballs in the dirt or almost in the dirt, that's so far away from the strike zone that the hitter thinks nothing of it. That's not a decision that they have to make to lay off of that. That's easy for them. So that's a ball. Now you're 1-1. He goes back away. Fastball, middle away, called strike. 1-2. Comes back to a curveball, low and in, almost in the dirt. Ball 2. So now you're at 2-2. You see a pattern here. He went, I know the first pitch was a curveball, but he goes pitch middle away on the black. Curveball low and in, almost in the dirt. Pitch middle away on the black. Curveball low and in the dirt. Now pitch 5. Fastball middle away on the black. 103 miles an hour off the bat for a double. You can't get into that that predictable of a pattern. I think at this point, Green was assuming a fastball, and he was assuming one in that same area, and that's exactly what he got. I would have done two things on this fifth pitch of the at-bat. I would have either gone fastball up and in, way out of the zone, way out of the zone, where only Adolis Garcia can hit this out if he's playing Houston, and see if you can get him to bite on it, swing underneath it, strike three. Or, because keep in mind, you can do that because it's a 2-2 count, and you have a ball to give. This isn't full count. See if you can do that, or try to spin a slider, which is that's his wipeout pitch. That's his best off speed. Spin a slider that starts out of the zone, ends up on the outer third. Okay, it's okay if you work outer third, because keep in mind, Green has yet to see a slider from Jack Leiter. He actually went the whole day without seeing a slider from Leiter. And so I think trying to kind of get him confused there with a slider, spin it, have it catch that corner. If he swings at it, great. If he doesn't, strike three. And if you don't execute, it's as long as you keep it low, you should be okay. He doesn't do that, gets a double. Then he gives up a 5-pitch walk to Kana, which again, you don't want to give up 4 to 5 pitch walks. Just couldn't locate at all. Go look at the pitches. None of them were close. 2-pitch triple to Carpenter that Taveras should have caught. You know the play. You've seen it. It was a hard hit ball, but Taveras needs to make that catch. It's ruled as a triple. It's not ruled as an error. So those runs count towards Leiter's final line. Finally, 5-pitch double to Torkelson. You could tell Leiter had just kind of lost it at that point. Everything was middle and up outside of one curveball in the dirt. When he starts throwing up, that's not what you want. And then he gets pulled. All right, some takeaways, and then we'll bring in Alex and Trent and I think Rosie at some point. Leiter gets into the most trouble when he leaves his fastball up. That's been his MO in the minor leagues, and you saw that in his start on Thursday as well. Especially, that final at-bat, 5-pitch double to Torkelson, everything was middle up. He's got a really good fastball, but he gives up hard contact on that fastball if he's elevating it. He has to keep it low in the zone, and if he does, it is a incredible pitch. He faced 22 batters. I just went through all of them. I by my count, 7 of the at-bats were bad. 7. And we can run through these 7 just to point them out to you. So I think the 4-pitch walk in the first to Torkelson was a bad at-bat. I think the 5-pitch walk to Keith to start off the second was a bad at-bat. I think the double to Baez was a bad at-bat because you don't throw him anything in the zone to start off that at-bat. I think the single to Khan in the second, also not good just because he hung a slider. You have to execute that off-speed better. So now you're at 4. That's 4 at-bats. In the 4th inning, I'm ruling that double he gave up to Green as a bad at-bat because that 5th pitch, you got to have a better game plan than that. I don't know if that's on him or that's on Heim or both. You got to have a better game plan. 5-pitch walk to Kana after that, not great. And then the 5-pitch double to Torkelson is number 7. He should have gotten out of the jam in the 4th without any damage. If Taveras catches that ball, he ends up putting up a 0 in the 4th, probably goes out for the 5th, maybe even the 6th, depending on his pitch count. But that just didn't happen. Gave up a lot of hard contact. He gave up 7 different hits, or 7 different contacts that were over 100 miles an hour off the bat. That's not good. That's not what you want. He has to avoid those 4 to 5 pitch walks. Overall, I thought his stuff when he was locating it looked really good, really electric. It's the kind of thing that gets you excited about him. And what I would like to see from him, or what I wish, because we already know he got sent back down to AAA. I wish he was still here. I wish he was still in Arlington, and I wish they would have moved Heaney to the bullpen. Andrew Heaney, he's not a reliable starter in the major leagues anymore. He's had some great moments, but he has struggled so far this year. I would just rather see Leiter get those starts. See, if we can see some improvement from him. I'd rather move Heaney to the bullpen as someone who you can get 2 to 3 innings out if you need to. Because honestly, 3 to 4, maybe 5 innings is about what you get from him as a starter. Because they know they can't let Heaney be out there and face the lineup a 3rd time through. I know that's how a lot of people think, but okay, let's look at this. If we go Andrew Heaney, second time through the order, okay? Last year he gave up a WOBA, which is a weighted on-base average. It's a really good statistic. It's a version of on-base percentage that accounts for how a player reached base. Instead of simply considering whether a player reached base, the value of the method of reaching base is determined by how much that event is worth in relation to projected runs scored. Example, a double is worth more than a single. So WOBA is a really good kind of batting metric. 2023, second time through the order, he was giving up an opponent WOBA of 301. So far in 2024, the opponent WOBA is 293. So you're hovering around 300. Okay. Let's look at the third time through the order. 2023, it was 411. So far, 2024, it's 434. So you're talking about a 100 to 130 point jump on that. And you're saying, okay, well, Andrew, stop with the advanced numbers. All right, let's look at on-base percentage, shall we? On-base percentage, second time through the order. Opponents, 2023, it was 299. Or actually, let's see. Let's do slugging. 389 and 412 are the slugging numbers for 2023, 2024. Second time through the order. And third time through is 598 last year. It's only 250 this year, small sample size, but almost 600 in 2023 across the entire season. So if you're going to have that kind of restrictions on him, I would just rather see Leiter getting those starts personally. But yeah, so that's the breakdown on Jack Leiter. Hopefully we'll see him back up in Arlington soon. Overall, there were some things to like. There were some things to need to work on. It seemed to me like it was a major league debut of someone who is still a work in progress. He's not a finished product. He's going to go down and continue to work in AAA, continue to get better. But I feel good about his outlook moving forward, whether it's this year or beyond. Let's take a quick break. We will come back with Trent and Alex and potentially Rosie, and we'll continue on with the rest of the show.
Took you long enough.
Didn't you say 7:05, 7:15?
Yeah, but I've been sitting here for a
Oh.
while.
I was talking about Jack Leiter. I'm so sorry. Who hit a home run?
Cal Raleigh.
Oh.
I'm watching DirecTV stream for the first time, and it is rough. It's rough for anything like 10 seconds for me. It's probably my connection. It's funny.
I just go to Bally and log in to the TV provider.
Yeah, I can't do that on my TV or my PlayStation though. Like the apps aren't there. I can only watch that on my computer because Bally just sucks. Yeah.
It hasn't worked for like DirecTV stream, like on other devices. I don't know why. But
Works for me. I'm watching it. I got it right here. All right. Let me make sure YouTube can hear you guys. How are y'all doing?
Tired.
Yeah, same. Cool.
Mavs play at 9 too. That sucks.
I will watch maybe the first quarter.
Yeah. I'm staying up.
I was watching the rest of I watched most of the Stars game from our bedroom. like on the TV that we've got in there. And so I was just sitting there watching it, and they were down 4-2, and there was like 7 minutes left in the third, and I was like, I was getting tired. And I was like, all right, I don't, let me go ahead. I'm gonna go brush my teeth and come back and watch the final few minutes, and then I'll turn it off and go to bed. And so I go in the bathroom, brush my teeth, and I walk out, and I just see the goal graphic on the TV, and I'm like, whoa, wait a second. Oh, they scored. Nice.
It's a fluky goal.
Yeah, that last goal was luck. He whiffed hard. But it made it interesting. At least indoors or in there,
Yeah. All right, so I'll bring everyone back in and then do some programming reminders, and then we'll do each of our one big headline of the week, and then we will get into I'll do a Liquid IV ad read, and then we'll do Stars game 1, talk about that, and then Mavs game 1, and then we'll get out of here. That sound good?
Is Rosie popping on?
He said he was. He's going to text whenever he's ready, and then we'll stop and bring him back on, depending on.
What are we gonna do with him if he pops on? Like,
No idea.
there's no real Rosie friendly topic. I mean, I guess the Stars, but we're doing
Just
that
vibes. Just, he can hang out,
Just vibes. He can give us a draft preview, I guess.
give us hockey takes.
Pull it out of his ass.
Yeah, see, there you go. Okay. We'll do that then.
Why is Austin off?
He texted me individually the other day and basically was like, "Hey, I know I've been like radio silent on the podcast. He just has a lot going on with, buying the house and kids, and now, with the situation with his mom."
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Using his mom as an excuse. What a coward.
Yeah, I had a
Thank you
different
for that.
reaction. So whenever he wants to hop back on, we'll be here waiting for him. But I think this is just a crazy time in his life right now. So
Okay,
yeah. All right, everybody good?
let's do it.
Okay.
Sorry.
How dare you? Okay. And let's see. Alex, say something.
Something. Audio good. What do we think? Oh, the roof is open tonight.
Oh,
That's cool.
You watching baseball right now?
Yeah, not really that interested in Timberwolves, Suns. I guess I could be watching hockey, but it is the Mariners. And I'm going to the game on
okay.
Thursday.
Yeah, we're good. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
All right, coming back for the rest of the podcast, I am joined by Alex and Trent. We're going to be going through our one big headline of the week, Stars Game 1 reactions, notes and all that good stuff, and then same thing for Mavs Game 1. We're recording this. It is 7:18 Central Time, Tuesday night, so the Mavs-Clippers Game 2 has not tipped off yet. If you're listening to this on Wednesday morning, you know the result of it. So we'll see how they do in Game 2. We'll probably talk about that a little bit, what we expect to see and hope to see when we get to the Dallas Mavericks. But before we get into all that, some programming reminders. Alex's weekend preview. So we didn't have it this past week. It was the first week where we didn't
Big
have
Brother.
it. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
I want to share a story. Trent doesn't know the story, and the listeners don't either, of a way that, I don't even need to set it up. So Alex usually texts me sometime Thursday afternoon. He's like, all right, hey, here's what I'm planning to talk about. Like, I'll let you know whenever I'm done recording. And then I go in and I edit it, publish it, all that good stuff. Right. And we always have a church small group on Thursday night. So usually I'm not looking at my phone very much, and he'll send me a text, and then once we're all done with that, I'll go get to work and get it published. I get a text from him. I'm gonna read it verbatim, okay? I'm not paraphrasing at all. I get a text from him at 7:01, and I'll preface it. He mentions a name. The name is his sister. His sister's name is Gemma. And so I get a text from him that says, "Yo, can't do the pod tonight. Gemma's died and needs a ride back to Denton. About to leave to go pick her up."
Forgot car.
And I respond back, "Who died?" And he goes, "Oh, car died. Whoops." So
yeah.
I'm like,
Proofreading,
whoa.
folks.
That's quite the word to leave out of a text. But we didn't have the weekend preview. We'll have it this week, right?
Yeah, as long as my sister's cars are functional, I think we're good.
As long as your sister and her car are alive. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. But make sure you're looking out for that. You'll see it here on the main Making the Call feed. Also go read Trent's Hockey Stars article on the Making the Call Substack. I know it was like a preview for the series against Vegas, but we're only one game in. There's still a lot of good notes and nuggets in there, so definitely go read that out, or go read that on the Making the Call Substack. All right, I think that's it. Top headlines. Alex, what you got?
My top headline is I watched an interesting movie on Sunday after the Mavericks' dismal performance. So this movie sort of caught my eye during the Oscars because it beat out Oppenheimer for sound. And I was just like, how do you beat out Oppenheimer for sound? That was like one of the main things of that whole movie.
I still haven't seen that movie.
Really?
It's called
Sorry, continue.
You should definitely see it, Trent. But it's called Zone of Interest. And it's basically about the commandant of Auschwitz and his family. And like the whole movie, you're just with the family and their little farm right next to the camp, and they're just going through their day-to-day lives. But like in the background, you hear all the horrific sounds and anything you can imagine coming from that camp. You don't actually see anything bad. There's no blood and guts or anything. It's all just sound. And I just really thought it was an interesting way to go about that. And it's just a really interesting watch compared to like other blockbuster movies. It's just artistically, I thought it was a really good movie. And
Yeah.
if you're interested in stuff like that, check it out. Highly recommend.
Huh.
Is it in German?
Yeah, but the dialogue is really not the important part of the movie. But there's subtitles and stuff. It's not that hard of a follow along.
Okay.
Well, you just finished watching Shogun, so subtitles shouldn't bother you.
And they don't really talk that much in the movie. It's not like a long read or anything like that.
You said it's called Zone of Interest?
Yeah. Well, the Zone of
The
Interest.
Zone of Interest. What's it on?
The Zone of Interest.
The Zone of Interest.
What streaming platform?
HBO Max, and the A24 made it, and A24 doesn't miss if you know about them.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I'll need to check that out. I haven't seen it. I didn't really know much about it, and then I think it was one of the films nominated for Best Picture, wasn't it? I know it didn't win, I think it won.
It won Best International Film though.
Oh, okay, got it. All right, Trent, what's your one big headline?
I guess I finished Shogun, as you said. A little disappointed in the ending, but it was a pretty good show. I just don't understand how shows just can't end good. Like, give me a Clone Wars ending every single time.
I mean, yeah, that's expecting a lot. That's like one of the most perfect endings of any show ever.
Yeah.
I didn't think the ending was bad of Shogun. We'll do spoiler free if you haven't seen it, but I didn't think it was bad. I mean, it wasn't like, I think a lot of people were expecting like a Battle of the Bastards type like showdown. But it was way more of just kind of like, I don't know, closure for some characters.
Yeah, it felt like It's based off the book. It felt like the author ran out of clever things and just said, "I'm going to finish," instead of sounding stupid for the next 2 chapters or whatever.
Mm,
That's what I think happened. But I mean, it was super clever, super clever show.
yeah. Really, I mean, yeah, I loved the show. I mean, I guess the finale could have been better. I may be a little bit higher on the finale than you are, but I thought leading up to it, like the first 9 episodes, there wasn't anything I could find wrong with it. It was fantastic. Highly, highly recommend the show if you haven't seen it. That one's on Hulu, but I know they said they're not going to do a season 2. That they said this is it, which it was a massive success. So we'll see how long that lasts.
Well, didn't they wrap up? Is there anything else to go off like the literature, or like didn't
No.
they wrap everything else up? So like if they were to do a season 2, it'd just basically be like Game of Thrones, where they're just going off whatever.
Yeah,
Didn't they screw that up?
I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of meat on the bone, I think. I know they don't have like the book to go off of, but there's a lot they could do, I think. All right, my one big headline, we'll bring it back to sports. I've got 2. I'm trying to decide which one I want to do. I think I'll do this one because I think you both will be more interested in this. Maybe you won't. But I'm considering just taking next season off as a Cowboys fan. Is that allowed? Like, can you just like take a season off?
I mean, Jerry Jones is doing his best Joe Biden impression at the podium these days, so I think that's warranted, dude.
That's a great call. That's exactly what's going on. I just
take the mic out of his hand.
Yeah. Did you I don't know if either of you saw this. So him and Steven and Mike McCarthy did this like big press conference today. And Jane Slater of NFL Network was basically asked him like, hey, you know, what do you say to the fans who are wondering like, hey, you've got these 3 big contracts that you need to get done with Dak, CD, and Micah, but like none of them are done, and it doesn't seem like any of them are going to get done before the season. You know, what do you say to that? And he goes on this like 3-minute long monologue about how he's an option quarterback. And, you know, sometimes, you know, some quarterbacks want to pitch it right away. And he's like, I want to see more of the defense before I pitch it. And it like, he tried to make it make sense and it just didn't. He just kept calling himself an option quarterback. He called himself an option quarterback like 7 times in 2 minutes. And it just made no sense.
Yeah.
And Dak's going to probably be on the LA Rams next year. They'll probably tag Micah and then he'll be gone. And they might sign CD. They might let him walk. But I just, you know,
let him walk.
The Stars are good right now. The Mavs are good right now. The Rangers are good. I'm like, I don't need to suffer through being a Cowboys fan. I think I can just, you know, observe it from afar.
Invest
like
all your time in the Dallas Wings, baby. It's time.
It's time. Yes.
I think they made the playoffs last year, so we're building on something.
There you go.
Success.
So that's my one big headline. I think I just might take the season off. I don't know if that's allowed, but I think that's what I'm going to do. So
You'll still watch, but you won't have as much interest in it, and it'll actually be nice. You'll be rooting for a draft pick, probably.
Yeah, I'll watch it. Like, I feel like I'll watch it kind of like how I watch like Red Zone or just like other games. Be like, oh, okay, let's see what the Cowboys do this week. And then be like, oh, okay, whatever. Let's move on to the next thing.
Yeah, like you'll have a CD on your fantasy team and just root for receptions from that.
Yeah. See, there you go. So that's mine. All right, let's get into the Dallas Stars. Before we do, let's take a minute, tell everyone about our friends over at Liquid IV. They are just cranking out new flavors left and right. They've got the new grapefruit hydration multiplier. They've got the raspberry melon, which is a new sugar-free hydration multiplier. Plus all of their classics, you know, the sea berry, the acai berry, the passion fruit, the fruit punch, the lemon lime, which is a sugar-free. I mean, you name it, they've got it. Go try Liquid IV today. If you don't just want the hydration multiplier, that's okay too. They've got immune support. They've got energy multiplier. I know all of us, we're a little sleepy right now, staying up watching the Stars. We got the Mavs coming up tonight. Trent's, you know, his kid was coughing all night. So we're all, you know, Alex was at the Stars game, so he didn't get home till, Alex, what time did you get home last night?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
That's when I
So
got in the shower.
we all could use the energy multiplier from Liquid IV, especially if you're a Dallas sports fan and you're just back to back. You're on these West Coast start times for the Mavs and the Stars. Get a little boost, a little pep in your step. Go try it from Liquid IV. Liquid IV hydrates you twice as fast as water alone. Has 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks. You can go try Liquid IV today and get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code MTC at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code MTC at liquidiv.com. All right, Trent, your Dallas Stars. They dropped game 1 against the Las Vegas Golden Knights 4-3. Really, I think the story was the first period. They were down 3-2 after the first period. They gave up another goal in the second, so now it's 4-2, and then they got that one goal late in the third and fell 4-3. I want to start kind of focusing on that first period because it seemed like that really kind of set the stage for the rest of the game. What did you see offensively, defensively from Ottinger, from Vegas? You can kind of take it anywhere you want. Any long-term concerns? Kind of an open-ended question there for you.
I was very confused at the start of the game. Like the people they had start the game, the fourth line,
Yeah.
which doesn't.
So's the
like,
crowd.
it's not a whole lot of the starting lineup in a hockey game is not. There's not much to read into it, but it just looks bad when they take a penalty. It took a penalty on the first shift of the game.
Was that actually a penalty? Because they really only showed the replay once in the arena, and obviously the crowd's gonna boo anything they show in the arena and think it's against us. But in your opinion, was that a penalty?
Oh, I think we lost
he's
Trent.
mute.
Yeah, we lost him.
No, my wife just came in and interrupted me mid-thought.
Oh, that's okay.
Thank goodness for her, we live in America. I'm sorry.
Jeez.
Clip.
Do you want me to cut that?
Maybe.
Yeah,
we'll think
I
about
think
it.
I'm gonna cut that.
I?
I'm gonna protect you as your friend. I'm gonna eliminate that. Yeah, let me take a note. What did you think that was a penalty early? The high sticking on
it was weird. I think I just watched the one replay and my initial thought was like, was that really his stick? I didn't know if maybe the defender's stick rode up and hit himself in the face, but I mean he got hit in the face with a stick.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a penalty.
And then they get the first goal a minute later in the power play.
By Satan himself.
Yeah, by Mark Stone. I mean, that dude looked fresh. I guess that injury, he recovered well. Shout out to the medical staff.
Medical miracle, bro.
You are home.
I don't know. It's really weird. I mean, he was unfit to play on Thursday of last week, and then Monday he plays the third most minutes in the game in a playoff game. It's ridiculous. Like I get the LTIR rule, but when it's the same player 3 years in a row, might have to look into something.
Yeah. What was that tweet you sent? It was like Mark Stone has risen more times in April than Jesus.
Yeah, I got a good laugh out of that. That needs to be on a sign at the game tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So if anyone knows how to make a sign in a day, maybe I'll take it. But
you going?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I kind of regretted not going last night, but
dude, the tickets were so cheap. I was surprised. I wasn't planning on going until about 5 o'clock.
9 o'clock puck drop.
It's not even 8:30. It's 9 tomorrow.
No, it's 8:30, but it'll be 8:52 because that's what it always is. So, Anthony Edwards just had a real bad shot. Yeah, it wasn't like it's not the end of the world. I mean, the Stars lost game 1 to Minnesota last year too, and then they came out and won 7-1 in game 2. So it's not the end of the world. I think Vegas was probably the better team. They definitely took advantage of more of the Stars' errors that they made. So it's kind of the result that they probably deserved. They played well in the second, third period. I think they only gave Vegas like 7 shots in the last 2 periods or something. Um,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
that
the
one that
shot
went.
differential was, hold on.
it was like 2-1 or something, 30-15
Yeah,
or something.
29 to
Yeah,
15.
that fourth goal they got was just a stellar shot. There was no stopping that one. And he was pretty.
No,
Otter
that was
never
a
saw
lucky
that
shot.
puck.
Yeah, that wasn't a stellar
Okay,
shot.
so it was more of the.
lucky shot, but the goalie never saw it.
What do you call it when the other dude like just basically takes away the goalie, like face guard? What
Like
is that called?
screens.
Good screen.
Just
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
and
Yeah.
it was I don't know, puck at eyes is what I call it. Like the puck was going to find the net on that
Yeah.
shot. Um,
So
but I
on
don't really
the,
have a whole lot of concerns.
okay.
Jamie Benn looked fantastic,
Yeah, he
which
got a goal.
he always does in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Um,
and Vegas tried to get under his skin too, and he seemed pretty cool, calm, and collective all night.
well, I would try to get under his skin too after what he did to him last
Yeah,
year.
that yeah, that's why I was
But we saw some
impressed by
growth
it.
from him, which is
Maturity.
good.
But at the same time, it's annoying because I think they were out hit 3-1 or something. Like they didn't
But
hit anyone.
that was the Stars last year too, wasn't it? Like they're just
Yeah,
not a big team.
55 to 31
Yeah,
on
but
hits.
I was a little bit disappointed because they went out and got a big body defender for the
Yeah.
purpose of being physical in the playoffs, and he had 0 hits
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay.
yesterday.
Uh,
So it was. I mean, I just need a little bit of passion. You know, it just looks like they're playing regular season hockey, and they're not.
yeah. That little bulldog looked pretty good in his
Oh, dude,
first appearance in the
number
Stanley Cup
11
playoffs.
Stanky boy.
Yeah.
NBA comp. That's like watching Kyrie on skates. That dude is so small, but the way he moves and what he can do is insane. I love that guy.
Yeah, that's probably a good comp.
that comp
he's
makes
young.
Trent so happy.
Yeah, I love Kyrie, and I do like Stenko, and he did look a little small at times.
He had
but
that nice
is,
assist to
and-
Robertson on the goal, which was good in the
And he
first period.
pickpocketed Mark Stone to get that assist.
Yeah, that was real nice. I did
Yeah.
enjoy that one a lot. I don't know. There's a few guys that like that. Wyatt Johnson, Jamie Benn, and Stanko in line was really good. The Sagan, Marchment, Duchesne line had good moments. You need the top line to be a top line, though. They
Yeah.
were not good. The Pavelski, Hinson, Robertson. Robertson got a goal, but his expected goals were negative, I think.
Mm.
Yeah, I got to see some more.
Well,
from
and the goal
Hintz,
he had was a wide open, breakaway
Yeah.
after the stinky
you don't
steal.
you don't get a lot of those. But yeah, it's not a whole lot of room in playoff hockey, and one player that needs to be better is Thomas Harley.
Mm.
I looked online to find his turnovers, and it says he had 0, but I swear I counted 10. And it was like I need to talk with the statistician, but I don't think Harley has ever played a worse hockey game than he played last night, and he's not going to be that bad again. So
Yeah.
I'm confident, and
They
you're
should
not
come
going to
out with
win
more
16
fire in
straight
game 2.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're not going to win 16 straight games, but it's nice to win at home, and they didn't, so that
Yeah.
kind of sucks. But this is going to be a long series,
Well, and you predicted what, 7
unfortunately.
in your
Yeah,
article?
I have Stars in 7, which probably means it's going to be Vegas in 7. But
That was,
No.
Dallas is
Don't
bet-
lose faith. They'll be okay.
Dallas is a better hockey team, man. And if they get by Vegas, there's nobody else that can beat them. They just don't match up very well against
In the
them.
West or in general?
General.
Wow.
even the Rangers.
The Rangers are frauds.
Okay.
I mean, they're mopping up the worst playoff team in the world, like to ever make the playoffs, which is good.
Oh yeah, the Caps. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Capitals are the worst team to ever make the playoffs, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that's the Eastern Conference. We don't have to worry about that.
Final note on the Stars, unless you have other notes, either of you. How do you think Otter looked? I know, gave up 4 goals, but overall?
Not his best.
I don't know. I don't think he was bad. Like people are
He-
trying to blame him for the goals, and like the first one was a deflection where he was screened, couldn't see anything. The second one, it was so like I didn't even see it go in the net. So like, if I can't see it from an eagle eye,
Mm-hmm.
how can he see it down there? You know. And that was a really bad play by Thomas Harley to set it all up. So I don't really fault him for that. The third one was he made the initial stop and then Hurdle got a rebound. Just a lot of like defensive zone coverage blows. Like they didn't tie up sticks and let Vegas get too many options. So
It was
that
more so on his
wasn't
teammates than
the
it was
best.
just on him.
Yeah. And I mean, it'd be nice to have one of those saves back. And like they're makeable saves, but you can't say, "Oh, we lost this game because of Otter." Like
Yeah.
the fourth goal, whatever. It was like a dive bomb that just kind of snuck over his shoulder.
Yeah.
But he's gonna be fine. Yeah,
Would
they'll be
you
fine.
would you deem game 2 as a must win?
I've been asked this question 3 times today. I don't. I've given 3 different answers. I think you do have to win because it's at home. I don't think you can go 0-2 at home and then
Go
come
back to
in a
Vegas
series.
because does
Yeah,
hockey do
especially Vegas
2-3-2 or 2-2-1-1-1?
2-2-1-1
Okay.
2-2-1-1-1-1.
Okay. Got it.
Um,
Whose dog is that? Alex?
Baker, yeah.
Oh,
neighbor's dog's going
Baker.
nuts.
Come on, man. Must be a Kansas Jayhawk fan next door or something. Going back to his OU
I thought it was
roots.
Sidney Sweeney.
Oh,
Sorry.
man. Good to have you on this week, Trent. Oh, goodness. Anything else on the Stars? Let's see. If we look at the schedule ahead, they've got the game 2 on Wednesday, and then let me see here. Game 2 Wednesday, game 3 Saturday, game 4 Monday. That's in Vegas, so that Monday night's probably going to be at 9 o'clock, so we'll probably do the podcast Monday night, so we'll have 2 more games worth of information next time we reconvene.
Yeah.
You think after game 3, Dallas Stars, are they up 2-1, down 2-1, or down 0-3?
I think they're up 2-1.
Okay.
Down 0-3. He just said that. Down 0-3.
Yep. And
They're going to let them win 3, and then they're going to win 4 straight.
0-4
They
Red
almost did that
Sox,
last year.
baby.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's some Dallas Stars talk for you. We will keep that going throughout the playoffs. Hopefully for several episodes. That'd be really great. All right. Keeping it in town in the same arena where these two teams play. Let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks. They had game 1 on Sunday. Game 2 is in a little over an hour from now. It's now 7:43 p.m. Central Time. Tip-off will be right after 9 o'clock. They had, and there were numbers to back this up, the worst half of offensive performance they had all season on Sunday.
Yes.
They scored 8 points in the second quarter.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, 8 points, dude.
Go ahead,
Like,
Trent.
what?
I was flying during the game, and there was a Indian man behind me who was very into the game and very loud about it, and it just cracked me up the whole flight. It's just like, dang it, no! Just like screaming at the TV like the whole flight, and I was like, dude, I turned around to see what he was watching at first. Like I don't know why. Like he wasn't gonna be watching hockey because there was a hockey game on at the same time. So I texted you guys. I was like, let me know if the Mavericks game gets interesting again. I'll switch back over because I switched it to the start to I think it was the Rangers and Caps or something. But and I didn't have to text you guys because he was going to tell me. It was just the whole. He was just so mad the entire flight, and it was just cracking me up. And his wife was like telling him to calm down and stuff. It
I love it.
was a good time.
I love that. It
Shout
was
out
an
to that
awful
guy.
game. Just awful. And it's one of those games, and I'm curious if you feel this way, Alex. Like, I'm not worried at all afterwards because it was so bad that it's like it was just one of those events like where literally nothing was falling. It wasn't even one of those games where they were like living by the three, dying by the three, and they weren't making any of their shots. Like they weren't making layups, they weren't making free throws, they weren't making little floaters. Like nothing was going in the hoop.
Like if your name wasn't Kyrie Irving or Luka Doncic, you just weren't making anything.
Even if your name was those two people in the first half, you weren't making anything. I mean, I know Kyrie ended with 31. Luka ended up with 33. But what was their? Hold on. Make whatever point you were going to make. I'm going to look up what their lines were at in the first half.
Well, I think just piggybacking off your point, you just have to, like, after a game like that, I just want to get to game 2 as fast as possible. Get it out of my system. Get that taste out of my mouth. Like, I turned it off after the second quarter. I couldn't watch that anymore. I was watching, like, on ESPN Gamecast to see if maybe they'd come back. They made a couple fake runs, but I never flipped back. Like, I was just disgusted.
Yeah, they, and I will say to their credit, like, they finished the game strong. They were trying to come back, and they almost did. And they scored 30-something points in the third quarter, and then they were trying to do it in the fourth. So I mean, they made an effort. It's just they dug themselves in such a deep of a hole in the first half that it just didn't matter.
You're just not coming back from an 8-point quarter in the NBA. It's just impossible. Even in the old NBA, I think that would be impossible.
Yeah.
Pressure bear.
What?
I don't know what that was. I'm sorry.
Man, you are on one today. I love it. Do you expect? Let's talk about some of the things from game 1. Do you expect Harden to continue to play like that? Because that dude was.
No, because actually a couple of the podcasts I've listened to, historically, Harden balls out in game 1 of any series he's been in. Look at all the stats. And then game 2, it goes down a little bit. Game 3, it goes down a little bit. And then by the time we get to crunch time, like last year we saw it in game 7, he had like 12 points for the Sixers. In game 1 of that series, he had 48. Like he just, when he has a lot of rest,
clubs, he doesn't have anything.
Yeah. When he gets a lot of rest and a lot of time to just work on his game, he'll ball out for sure. But like every other day, like he's going out, he's doing his nightclub things, like it just wears on him, and he wears as the series goes on. So no, I don't expect him to continue what he put up in game 1. That was also just like a prime 2015 Harden. Like you just make it everything.
Yeah.
It's one thing. Like I'm by no means a basketball expert, but the part I did watch, it didn't help that everything was falling for the Clippers too. It felt like everything was falling for the Clippers and nothing was falling for the Mavs. So it was just kind of like one of those games where you're just like,
I mean, they shot 50%
what are
from
you
3.
do?
The Clippers did 50% from 3 as a team.
That's good, right?
It's really good.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, it just, I don't know. My dad likes to call me, like after one of these games, be like, oh, what happened to your Mavericks? And I'll give him kind of the update on how the Mavs game went. And so when they got blown out, he calls me up yesterday on Monday. He's like, so what's going on with your Mavericks? They, what happened yesterday? And I was like, I'm not even worried. Like it was such a bad game that you just flush it. Like it would have been one thing if it was like competitive and then they like just threw it away in the fourth quarter. But the fact that it was over as soon as it began, it was like, okay, let's move on to Tuesday.
Yeah. Cleared my afternoon.
Yeah. Any concern about Gafford? Because he kind of got bullied by Zubac, and I thought he was going to be more dominant in this series, where after game 1, it seems like it's going to be way more of a lively game or way more of a lively series than it is going to be Gafford.
I think you wait until you see what the Clippers are with Kawhi. I mean,
Yeah.
I know that doesn't really have anything to do with Zubac, but I feel like it does.
Didn't
Like,
Gafford get a little banged up early in the first game too? Like nothing crazy. Like he's still playing tonight, but wasn't he a little bruised or
Yeah, he
something?
rolled his ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he just sort of never got into rhythm. And like, after that first quarter, it was just the Mavs were just dead.
Mm.
And Gafford's sort of just a rhythm guy. Like you can sort of tell how he's gonna play in the first quarter. Like if the lobs are falling and sorry. Julio just hit his first home run of the season.
Oh man, you were way
Sorry, I'm
behind me.
sorry.
That happened like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's DirecTV streams.
you got to reset it. Like, you got
Yeah,
to reset the
yeah,
whole
you
app.
do.
Yeah, I just the pod. I haven't had time to do that. Focus on this.
I love it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little worried about Gafford. We'll see how he does tonight. The guy that I really want to talk about though is Maxey. I don't think this is a series for him. And I would not be playing him. How much minutes did he play in game 1? He played 27 minutes off the bench, most minutes by someone on the bench. It was him at 27, Lively at 19, Hardaway and Exum both at 16, and then Josh Green at 9. I wouldn't be playing Maxey over 20 minutes a game. He is just a non-factor on offense, and I love the guy, but yeah, you can't be playing him that many minutes. He's scared to shoot. He doesn't shoot, and he seems, I don't know. It's when you're
Just
one dynamic player, like if you're not hitting your threes, you got to at least be taking your threes, and he's not even taking threes. So it's like, why are you out there?
He's just playing skittish. Like you can see it. Like on defense, he has all the confidence in the world, but on offense, he's like, "Oh crap, I'm open.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna shoot this rhythm three, but I'm gonna think a second and then throw it up." Like, come on, dude. You used to do this. We used to call you. Like, get your swagger back or get off the floor.
He played in 43 games in the regular season this year. I want you both to guess how many of those 43 games he scored in double digits.
Once.
Trent?
Twice.
4 times.
Okay,
What?
we lowballed it a bit.
Say that again?
Maxi Kleber scored in double digits 4 times this season out of 43 games.
Oh, yeah, I could have guessed that, but I didn't. I was just trying to let you have your moment.
Yeah.
We lowballed it too much.
His season high was against Milwaukee, where he scored 21 points. He was 4 of 7 from 3 in that game. And then other than that, 14 points, 12 points, and 10 points are the other 3 occasions. Which I'm just scanning it. The number of times he scored 0 points is more than 4. I don't know what the number is, but just from scanning my way down the game log, it's more than 4. There's better options. I don't think he gives you that much defensively to where you can just be playing 4-on-5 on offense every time down the floor. Maybe that's too harsh, but I think that's where we're at with him, unfortunately. All right, Alex, any adjustments you think the Mavs need to make in game 2 or just at all in this series? Or are you saying same game plan, let's see what happens?
Just make your open shots, man. Fundamental basketball. I mean, can't be worse than what it was game 1, right? That's what I hope anyways.
Hopefully they can't do worse than 8 points in a quarter. There's only 8 possible options that are worse than that. So hopefully they don't show that. Yeah, I don't think there was a lot of adjustments. I think other than giving less minutes to Maxey and increasing minutes to either Lively, Gafford, or honestly get some more Josh Green minutes out there, because at least he's flying around, energy, quick, You can get him out on the fast break. Like,
I think they still have the leash on him a bit just because of the injury thing and trying to get him back in rhythm and all that. But I agree. Give him more playing time. Just a little bit more.
take the leash off of him and just put it on Maxi. You don't need
there
two
you go.
leashes. Just take it off one, put it on the other.
Yeah, swap it.
Exactly. All right, what's your concern level 1 to 10 right now in this series? And what will that number be if they lose tonight and go down 0-2?
Out of 10 right now, it's a 3. If they lose tonight, it's a 6.
Okay, Trent, what about you?
Big anticipation.
Probably
here.
3 right now. If they lose tonight, probably an 8.
An 8?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say.
I think the Mavericks game tonight is more of a must-win than the Stars win is.
Oh, yeah, agreed. We can't go down 0-2. Even though we're coming
about
home.
the Mavs' chances being down 0-2 than I do.
Why?
Because he doesn't know anything about hockey.
No, just because
because
I'm not scared about playing on the road against the Clippers. Well, I guess no. Okay, sorry, I've got it flipped in my head. The reason why I'm not worried about it at the Mavs because the Mavs are coming home for 2 games, whereas the Stars would be going on the road for 2 games.
All right, that's fair.
It's fair, but counterpoint, like you just said, the Clippers don't have a home court advantage. It's just they have players who match up better than us, at least through one game, and they could definitely, if they win tonight, and then what would you not? Why wouldn't you expect them to do the same thing in Game 3? Because of the crowd noise, like what's the?
I mean, a little bit, yeah.
I just don't think the crowd noise is.
We'd probably like in James Harden's hotel room. We just put a little flyer, we put flyers to like the top strip clubs in the DFW area. Just put that like right on his pillow. It's like when you go to like Disney World and they have like the towel that's in the shape of Mickey Mouse. Like we would just have like a flyer for the top strip clubs. And then, you don't have James Harden for 2 games. Be like when Rodman ran off to Vegas for, during the NBA finals.
Yeah, get the new owners on that. I mean, they're from Vegas. They know the things. They know the things.
See, there you go. That's all I had for the Mavs. I guess we're not getting Rosie tonight, which is a shame. But anything else from either of you on either the Stars, Mavs, any other topics, sports or not sports related?
Mavericks or the Vikings are getting Drake May.
Yeah, the draft is Thursday. Are we excited about that?
Trent, how are you feeling? You're the one that I feel like...
I'm pretty nervous. But I'm kind of excited too. So,
what's your ideal scenario, Trent? What are you dreaming up?
Hope they can. Okay, here's my ideal scenario. The Falcons get busted for tampering. Pick swap 8 and 24. Vikings trade 8 and 11 to New England or Arizona for a second round for 1-4 and 127. And then they draft Drake May. If that happened, it'd be beautiful. But it's all going to depend on who Washington takes. Nothing's going to happen until Washington makes a pick. If Washington takes Drake May, I don't think the Vikings trade up at all.
I think Washington's basically taking Jaden Daniels.
Well, that's what they've all been saying, but some people have been saying it's a smokescreen, but we'll see. I think that's why the Vikings haven't made a move yet. Because they don't know who Washington's taking for sure. And they don't want to trade up for Jaden Daniels. Like he's a great quarterback. I don't think he'd fit in their system though.
So
yeah.
Let's have you make the call, game on the line, fate of the universe, aliens got the death beam pointed at Earth, and you got to make the call on who the Vikings end up with when Thursday night comes and goes.
It's Drake May.
Yeah, I think it's Drake May. Nothing.
Okay.
It was always Drake May.
I'll make the call that I think Caleb Williams is going number 1 overall to Chicago.
Whoa, dude. Going out on a limb.
For reals, man? That's wild.
I like the Vikings Drake May. There seems to be a lot of smoke there, but I don't think it's trading up with 4. I think they're going to trade up with New England at 3.
Yeah. But I really just don't want to give up a 25 first round pick. Anything other than that?
I think you can give up
whatever.
11, 23, and like a 25 second. I think that should be enough to get you there.
You'd think, but
I guess it depends what else other people are offering. But I mean, okay, so think of it this way, like picks this year are always going to be worth more than picks next year, right? We know that from Dynasty. And what other teams have multiple first round picks that also need a quarterback? Like the Vikings are it.
nobody. Yeah, the Vikings are it, but
There's
I
only
don't know
2
what
teams that
Denver
have
can offer.
there's only
I'm only worried about Denver, but I think maybe Denver making that move for Zach Wilson yesterday probably takes them out of it. So maybe it is only Minnesota.
Well, I saw there was a
We also don't know what the Raiders are going to do either. So there's a lot. I think there's sleeper teams in the conversation that are driving the price up. But I don't know.
Well, I saw that some people thought that there was a different reason why they traded for Zach Wilson, because I saw some news stories from like the past few days of some Cougars on the loose in like Colorado, and so that's why they went out and traded for Zach Wilson.
Good one.
Should be a fun draft. I'm really I'm just excited to see. Like, I'm curious where all the receivers are going to go and where all the quarterbacks are going to go, because this is such a loaded wide receiver class. Like, who ends
Michael
up with
Penix to the
Rome?
Cowboys?
Oh my gosh,
Huh?
that'd be good for content.
Yeah,
You
it
know?
would.
Like we'd get
I
a lot
think
of
him and
yeah. Go ahead.
yeah. I was just gonna say I think him and CD would match up well, but like obviously.
A lot of people, I've been hearing a lot of things that people expect Penix to go in the first round. He's not going to be a day 2 quarterback. That it's going to be
Yeah, I
5
think
QBs taken, and it's going to be
mid-20s is his sweet spot, I think.
yeah.
So I'm looking right now. Bo Nix is favored to go to the Broncos. Pretty
Yeah, of
heavily
course.
favored. Raiders are there too, but not very much. JJ McCarthy is heavy favorite to Vikings.
Mm,
I can't find Drake May odds,
Yeah.
really?
but
Bo
they're
Nix
probably
going to
here,
the
they're
Broncos.
probably here somewhere. But this page is so long, I don't really feel like looking.
Yeah.
Bo Nix is going to get John Elway fired, going to the Broncos. Like he's the GM, right? Not the owner.
I think he's both.
Who?
John Elway. Is
I
he
think
the
he's a
owner or
part
the G?
owner.
He's part
He's a
owner,
part owner.
and he's a GM.
Well, then never mind. It's like Jerry Jones, but
Yeah.
yeah, don't.
NFL
My
draft.
draft advice: don't draft Bo Nix. You're gonna get fired. That dude is a career backup at best. At best.
So Drake May's the
Well, they have Zach
favorite to
Wilson,
go. Drake May's the favorite to go number 3 overall.
Yeah, but who's going to be at 3? I think is the.
Yeah. I don't know. Malik Neighbors is heavily favored to get picked and ahead of Roma Dunze. It's interesting.
Yes, I think that's known.
Not that much of a surprise.
I think Rome ends up in Chicago at 9, which is kind of sad. They might even trade back.
Yeah, I don't think you need to take him that high.
This is interesting. JJ McCarthy's draft position, the favorite is that it's going to be under 5.5. So they're saying he's going to go in the first 5 picks. Huh.
That must mean Vegas thinks Minnesota's taking him, because I don't know if any other team's going to take him top 5.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Bo Nix is favored to go. Here, let's see. Who did you want to see? Drake May?
Yeah, like who's the favorite to land Drake May? I'll Google it.
Hold on, I'm looking. Give me a second. Golly, Drake May is referenced a lot on
142. I did the same thing you're doing. 172. I did the
172.
same
Yep.
thing you're doing right now.
Yeah, he's not on
Yeah,
here.
I didn't find it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Well, we can wrap it there. Trent, you got a dad joke for us?
I can find one for you.
Okay. Trent's searching for his book. We got about an hour until tip. Maybe Alex can go take a little power nap for the Mavs game.
I mean, it's not worth it at this point.
Or
We'll
just
power
have
through.
another cup of coffee.
Look, like right now, my kids are the Dallas sports teams, and I'm just gonna ride and die with them, stay up with them, and just hope for the best.
They're sleep training right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not their fault.
Yeah. One of them's teething.
I don't have my book. I don't know where it is.
Okay. All right. Here, I'll find it. I'll find a joke here.
Yeah, I've got too many freaking medical bills around here.
Oh, that's nice.
It could be a dad
you
joke
get
in a way.
Yeah, you get tax credits for it, so you got to keep all the receipts.
Yeah, you do. Okay.
Because you know me, I do not keep receipts.
Same.
Let's see. I'm scrolling through here.
Search like basketball or hockey dad joke. Let's keep it top.
Oh, I'm just on the dad joke subreddit, and I'm looking at the top ones over the past month. Someone asked me to name 2 structures that hold water. I was like, well, damn.
Nice.
No?
And it didn't hit.
Trent didn't like it. Well was the first one, if you didn't get it.
No, I got it.
Okay, all right.
Too obvious.
I bought my daughter a handbag from Iraq. She said, thanks for the bag, Dad.
I like that one. That's a good one.
All right. We'll end it there. That's going to do it for this week's episode of Making the Call. We'll be back here Friday morning with Alex's weekend preview, and then the rest of the game back here next Monday, giving you updates on the Mavs and Stars playoff series, hopefully with some good news over this next week. Probably some Rangers notes, and hopefully we can get Rosie on here and recap all the action from the NFL draft. So should have a good episode in store for you next week. I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of your week, and we will see you next time. Done. Good job, gents.
Yeah.
Quick hour.
All right.
I'm going to get my master's.
From where?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
Who's a
from?
hit for the Rangers? That's
Baylor.
a double.
Baylor?
I'm applying to Baylor. Yeah.
Don't
You
get
guys
it.
gonna trade Josh Smith? I think the Mariners could use him.
I
No.
don't know.
We'll keep him.
He probably would. He's balling out, dude.
He's doing great.
He is balling out, but like, who's he gonna replace?
I
You
didn't
guys have a stacked lineup.
have time to make this point because my notes on Jack Leiter ran long, but I had a Rangers note that 2024 Josh Smith has just been early season 2023 Ezekiel Duran because Corey Seager got hurt.
Is Duran back in the minors?
No, he's still up. He just doesn't. He's playing.
Just riding the bench.
He's playing. He hasn't been playing as much because Smith has been playing so well, and now Nathaniel Lowe's back. So Duran had been filling in at first base.
Honestly, tonight's really the first time I've watched the Rangers since opening day.
It's been real boring.
Yeah, they've been slumping.
Josh
The
Jung
whole,
was the only thing.
yeah,
making that
the
team
whole
rush.
AL
He was
West
so good, and
is
then
in
he
a
got
slump
hurt.
right now.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
got off to such. I mean, Adolis Garcia has been awesome. He's been
Yeah,
great.
Nothing there.
He's been good. I wouldn't say awesome, but he's been.
His OPS is like almost 1,000, which is really good.
Wonder why it's over 1,000, huh?
Easy there,
Big
Astros
biceps.
fan.
Big biceps.
Shut up, Andrew. You know he is.
They've
At
drug
this
tested
point,
him
it's-
many times.
At this point, it's just when, not if.
He just knows how to pass a piss test, man. Shout out
He's
to
the
his
only
people.
he's the only baseball player with muscles.
Yeah. I
Facts.
don't really know like how far back those piss tests go. You know?
Hmm.
Like maybe he's
Apparently,
timed
like
it perfectly where he can take it like right. Maybe he took some during the World Series when he was hurt, and then they don't take more until